And we are being recorded. Thank you, Toastmaster Chuck and fellow Toastmasters and sister Toastmasters. Are you fit? Are you fit? Are you, or do you even fit in? Do you fit into your jeans after a year in the pandemic of wearing your sweatpants and yoga pants? I digress. I have fun with this word fit. But truth be told, I'm not so sure about this word. I'm going to share a screen. I did put together a PowerPoint, which is something I learned to do during the pandemic. So I'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work, we'll just push it aside. But are you fit, ready, and resilient for fun and fulfillment? When I thought of this word fit, are you fit? I literally had a fit and wanted to change the title of my speech because I was fit to be tied. No lie. Couldn't sleep for 3 nights thinking about this because are you ever fit enough? Am I fit enough? Can any of us ever be fit enough? Because once we reach a certain fit, there's always another fit to reach. Like if you go for a 5-mile race in the physical fitness world, you'll do a 5K race, you have to do 5K of training. But if you go to a marathon level, you need to go to the next level of fit. So with that whole crazy idea of fit is not so fun, I calmed down and thought about how fit actually can make you feel more fulfilled, and it's more fun because it helps you be at the ready. You're more able and capable and confident. And fitness is in many different things. We can be financially fit, speaking fit. We can be fit if we're an artist or performer of some sort. We can gain practice to become more fit at whatever level of fit that is. So today, or tonight, I should say, I'd like to talk about the different areas of fitness. And first, I'd like to say, are you fit in the sense of speaking fit? So I'll talk first about speaking fitness, then go into pandemic fitness, and thirdly, post-pandemic fitness. And then wrap it all up with the underlining of mental fitness, which is really what we all need. So we have our mindset fit to do these things that we like to do. And we can shift our mindset by coming to our senses. And we can sense our true essence and learn how to redirect from a negative mindset to a positive mindset or neural pathway. So with that, I first would like to talk about speaking fitness. It's all about mind, body, spirit fitness at the baseline. But let's talk about speaking fitness. Here in the audience today, we're all speakers. We're in Toastmasters. So speaking fit, we do that every week in Toastmasters. We come here to practice to become better speakers. We learn about tips, and we have a platform. The Pathways platform helps us to learn different areas that we can focus on. We can choose a presentation mastery path, engaging humor, a leadership, different paths that can make us more speaking fit, to build our confidence and why we even come here in the first place. So Pathways platform helps us during every week. We have an agenda, and I'll stop this share for now. We have an agenda so we can learn, we have tips we hear about that can help us with our speaking fitness. And then we can learn from our fellow Toastmasters and watch their style and maybe catch, oh, I love their pause. Or the way they use their gestures is just awesome. I'm taking that one. Or any little thing, a vocal variety, underlining something That's how we learn to be better speakers. And some of the tips that I take away and I listen to every week are, for example, to become more speaking fit, here as your speakers, is the power of the pause. That's a great tip. But first, I think the most base tip that we learn is how do we change our nerves of speaking to something like changing perspective. Rather than being nervous to speak, we can be excited to speak. That's why we say the fun of speaking versus the fear of speaking. So we can calm down and catch up or gather our thoughts to speaking. The power of the pause, another great tip, also helps us. If we tend to say more ahs and ums, we want to pause them away. I like to think about that. So that's another tip that helps us be better speakers. Another thing is a smile. Smile. That helps not only with our neural pathways or our endorphins. By smiling, it's an emotional contagion, which happens by spreading that to the audience. And they maybe smile back at us. And it's all a good thing. It denotes warmth and friendliness. So smile. A great tip. And notice the humanity in your audience. Off the focus of you to like, what's going on for each person? Maybe look somebody in the eye. Not too long, but focus. And then change your focus and move along. So those are some tips that I think are really helpful that I've learned from my fellow Toastmasters. Another one is stories. Stories really help enliven speeches. Some people are really great storytellers. I'm learning that. I want to learn that. But someone had mentioned maybe we take our great little stories and put them into a journal and call them speaking slices to add some spice to our speeches. Because that's the spice of it all, is to add those stories. Which tips me off that this is all a practice, that we become more speaking fit. I had a college professor, a speech teacher, who said, it's not practice that makes perfect, but rather perfect practice that makes perfect. And that's what we do here in Toastmasters and as speakers, is we are learning how to speak more correctly through the Pathways platform, through our own hearing speaking tips, and through our fellow Toastmasters watching them and finding things that work or don't work for us. So with that, I'd like to put out a question. Another big tip is, I'm not just the lecturer on the stage or the sage on the stage, to engage your audience and get them involved, get the collaboration gold. So I would like to ask you in the audience here today, to please raise your hand. I invite you to give me something, a tip that has helped you to be more speaking fit. I'm going to ask for a raise of hands, and if I don't see any, I'll call on you. Oh, Margot's went up first. Margot, what is a speaking tip that has made you feel more fit?
Breathe, smile, and have fun.
Excellent. Margot, breathe, smile, and have fun. I love that one. Okay, is there someone else? All right, Therese. I see Therese raising her hand.
Yes, Kathleen. At first, it was just like one of the rules, make eye contact. But making eye contact made all the difference, because I found that as I made eye contact, I started to connect with the audience, and then there was a flow going, and the audience, people were communicating with me and helping guide me in what to emphasize and so on. And so that little rule just made an entirely different experience for me.
So look at the audience. Wonderful, Therese. So Margot, breathe, smile, have fun. Therese, look at their eyes. May we get one more? Dorothy. I see Dorothy's hand go up. Yes, Dorothy, what is a tip or speaking that has made you feel more fit?
We have always emphasized the value of pausing. And in fact, you said that again today, Kathleen. My challenge has been around the whole purpose of pausing is to do that instead of using filler words, but also for emphasis and to enhance the meaningfulness of a point. I forget and I get carried away. And because I get carried away, I start tripping over my words and then using ums and uhs and da, 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 da. Slowing down. When I slow down, then pausing happens innately. And it becomes a more artistic part of my talk. It starts to emphasize the things that I really want to say. So if I just tell myself from the beginning, slow down, Dorothy, the pauses are there.
Excellent. Thank you, Dorothy. That's also a great tip. Pauses not only helps us calm our brain down to pause so we don't and ah, but also it helps the audience collect their thoughts to capture what it is that we're saying so it lands. So slowing down and pausing, great tips. So thank you, and ones that we are learning and growing to learn all the time. So there is some speaking fitness ideas and how you can grow to be more speaking fit. So with that, I wanted to thank the audience members because it really is helpful to add what you know out there because we're all learning this together, speaking better together. So from this, I would like to now transition into another type of fitness that we've all been through. We're speaking better together, and we've also been in the pandemic all together. I will transition to a next slide and see if I can get this for you all. Share my screen. And pandemic fitness. Did you know there was such a thing? When we first learned about the pandemic, we all were up in arms. The world temporarily was closed. How were we going to become fit for that? And it wasn't just around here, it was the entire world starting to put masks on, changing. What were we going to do? We had to find our own pandemic fit. The word figuring it out had become the mantra, figure it out. And best pandemic fitness practices was something I was thinking about right out of the gate. I'm from the hospitality industry and the meetings industry shut down. I worked with a hands-on team building cooking company. Everything shut down and closed. In fact, not too soon after that, not only did everything that, it closed down my job and the whole company. So within 2 weeks' time, wiped out. Now what? I had so many contracts to close down and to change that I had all this energy. Now what? So the first weekend, what I did was I went out and gardened. I pruned, I weeded, I swept, I raked, I gardened. I found initially that my go-to was to garden and found that gardening was very grounding as I tried to manage how to be in a pandemic world, to be more fit. That was one. Think about some things that you did. Another thing that really helped me was a coaching organization I was with did a Zoom call, these new Zoom calls that we learned how to connect and work with were really great ways to gather and to learn. And on this Zoom call of 150 plus people, they put us into Zoom rooms of about 6 and posed the question, How are you going to put routines, systems, and structures together now when all the structures had changed? It was a really powerful way to think about how to become more fit during this time. So I went to yoga online because I figured get a routine every day. I found out some classes. I heard this new thing called upskilling, up your skills. So I thought, take computer classes online. It was quite helpful way to deal with it. And even things like learning to cook at home. There was many, many ways, or that what they called the silver linings, to become more fit. Now, not everybody became so fit. Unfortunately, there was those that became more unfit, and it was just tough times. But they were drinking and eating more and binge watching TV and Netflix binging. But hey, maybe, no judgment, they became more movie aficionados. So who knows, they became movie fit. So those are some ways that I got through and became more fit during the pandemic. What ways did you become pandemic? And I'd like to invite you again here in the audience to please raise your hand and let me know something that helped you become more fit during the pandemic. So please raise your hand. I see Deborah Fleischer. How did you become more pandemic fit? Whatever that means.
I think I became more pandemic fit because I took up boogie boarding, and to feel safer in the water, I started swimming because the Petaluma pool was open. So being in the water kept me fit.
Oh, that's awesome. Fit in the water. Okay, that was a good positive one. I love it. So who else became very fit? Linda Flanagan, what did you do to become more fit?
Actually, it's Lisa.
Oh, Lisa, sorry.
I joined Noom, which is an eating program and actually has fitness in it. So it kind of got my day organized, my eating and my working out and my day organized.
Oh, great. And Lisa, could you tell me what that was again? I did not hear.
Noom, Noom, Noom.
New. Okay, so that was a really interesting new practice for you to be more fit during this time. Excellent. Anybody else who hasn't gone? Jennifer Durkee, how did you become more fit during COVID time?
Hi, I started hiking more with friends after we went through that long period where it was just you and your nearest and dearest. There was finally leniency where it was okay to go out with someone, a friend or someone from a different family. And we masked up and started exploring the Steps Lane paths of Mill Valley. But to be honest, it was more so for the mental fitness and the need to really connect and just get out of my own bubble, which I think was, in speaking to friends, that was key to kind of managing the stress of what we were all going to, was having those personal connections and reconnecting as we were allowed to. So that's what I did.
Oh, great, Jennifer. So hiking way to be fit through the pandemic. Fabulous. I did that one too. I really thought that was very helpful to have some kind of a connection. And the nature was also very grounding. That was very, very helpful during this time. And also, of course, all of us here in this room, the Toastmasters every week on Zoom, connecting and learning how to speak on the virtual stage was very important. We learned and did some upskilling and learned every week. How do we speak better virtually, which was becoming a new necessary skill. So fabulous. I'll take one more. Does anybody else have a great way that they managed their time through the pandemic? Oh, Dorothy wants to speak again. I'll go ahead and pick you. There you go.
Only if there's nobody else.
No, but I'm sure I would call on them, but go ahead. You seem to be.
I found out some years ago that I have Hashimoto's disease, which is really common, not life-threatening or anything, but it is manageable with diet, and which has been which is something that's fairly restrictive. And I went like full on and did the big Hashimoto cleanse and got really refined with my cooking and did this 1 month special diet, eliminated a ton of even the most minutely inflammatory foods, and really ate cleanly, and ended up losing a bunch of weight and getting blood tests done with my doctor, and found out that I was really confronting my Hashimoto's in a very effective way. And I don't think I'd have had time to do that, to take that on, if I had been going to the office every day.
That's great. Thank you. So there was that thing called the silver linings and way to get more fit. Wonderful. Good way to pivot. You know, the pandemic pivot was such a big thing to do, right? So with that, we've all learned and seen how we've grown our fitness that way. Now, what about post-pandemic fitness? Oh, I don't know about this one. I'm not sure I have anything good here because I'm not sure. I felt like I kind of just got everything figured out on how to be fit during the pandemic. But now I have anxiety about how to do the post-pandemic fitness with mask, no mask, who's vaccinated, who's not, does it matter, does it not matter? And groups, big groups, little groups, travel, no travel. So I have felt somewhat comfortable in smaller groups outside. So just think about that. How have you been considering to be post-pandemic fit? And I would like to then wrap this all up. As I had mentioned, we need baseline mental fitness. To be mentally fitness, we need to come to our senses, our 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, all of our 5 senses, to come there to have a sense for your true essence, so we can get into our positive brain. So with this, I just want to say in closing, get fit, stay fit, grow your fitness in whatever area that speaks to you, because it's worth it, because it helps you to become more fulfilled and have more fun. Stay fit. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. That was a very fitting speech indeed. Oh, the puns. Okay, Amanda, if you could time 90 seconds or 93 seconds for everybody to send their comments to Kathleen. This is very important, even though we'll be doing a round robin evaluation. Kathleen, if you could put your email in the chat, and hopefully everybody can send comments about your speech, what you liked, what you thought could improve, etc. And then we'll move into the round robin after I introduce our general evaluator. So let us know, Amanda, when we're ready.
Timing.
Okay,
That wasn't time. Sorry, I was just saying I am timing.
Okay. We must be close, right, Amanda?
And Chuck, you can stop recording now if you continue.
Ah, thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.